Hey everyone, so I'm on my Windows laptop with the Gemini CLI loaded and watch this. Just type list all devices in my netbox, boom, Gemini connects straight to my remote server, call netbox tool and pull every network device from my home lab. Now let's say run the backup on all devices, it fire up the Ansible playbook, connect the devices in the backend, grabbing the configuration and done. All from simple natural language from AI agent that trigger an automation task on my remote server. So today I'm very excited to show you how to build this exact setup using Google Gemini. And the best part, it is totally free. So we'll cover how to build a remote MCP server from scratch using the Fast MCP framework. Then I'll walk you through the Gemini CLI installation on Windows, including how to grab a free API key from AI Studio. Finally, we'll put it all together and run the live queries and build fully agentic workflow. So let's dive in. Great, let me show you what are the resources we need for this demo. So here in the architecture, we have the Linux node loaded with Ansible. This is where the MCP server runs, listening on port 8080. Then we'll use Gemini CLI on my Windows laptop. This could be anywhere for you, at home, at work, at coffee shop, doesn't matter. They connect to our SSC, server sent events, which is a standard HTTP protocol that maintain a persistent connection between the client and the server. Our MCP server is going to expose multiple tools, Netbox for device inventory, Ansible for running the playbook, all accessible through the natural language. Then eventually we'll run the queries from Gemini CLI, which act as our AI agent and watch those tool call happening in the real time. So that's a quick overview on the architecture and the resource we need. Now let's talk about the AI agent. So we've been following this agentic series on this channel. We have built some powerful use cases using the Claude Code. So we started with Netbox MCP for the live inventory. Then we moved to the custom MCP for the device login. And most recently, we integrated with Ansible. So all these AI-driven infrastructure use cases, we deployed local MCP with Cloud Code. And it worked great. But Cloud Code comes with a price. You can either opt for a Pro subscription, which costs around $20 per month, or you can go with a Max, which costs around $100. But with the recent development, we now have Gemini CLI as an alternate. So let me give you a quick overview of different available models and their usage limit. And this is important to know so that you can pick the right one for your needs. So the default one is a Gemini 2.5 Flash. It gives you a good mix of speed and capability. On the free plan, you get around 5 requests per minute, 20 per day. And if you want something even faster, try 2.5 Flash Lite. It has slightly better limit, 10 requests per minute. The third option is Gemini 2.5 Pro. It is built for harder and more complex tasks, but it comes with a lower limit. And for today's demo, Flash or Flashlight will be good enough. So I'm going to show you some tricks how to work around this one on the rate limit part. Alright, let's start building. We will begin with MCP server configuration. First, let me create a project folder on the Ansible server inside the MCP server directory. This is where all the MCP related configuration live. I'll call the new directory as unified-mcp-ssc. Inside that, let's run the Python virtual environment to install all the dependencies. So let's create venv and activate it now. So mainly we need three main packages. FastMCP for building the MCP server, request for calling the Netbox API, and UVCon, which is important. And this is our web server that handles SSC connection. It is what makes the remote accessible possible. Now comes to the important part, building the MCP server. I'm going to slow down a bit and walk you through each section. And don't worry, these codes are available on my GitHub page and link is in the description. So first we have the imports for all the dependency services. Fast MCP for MCP framework, subprocess for running the Ansible commands, request for API calls, pathlib for file handling, and UVCon for web server. Next, the configuration block. We create an MCP server instance with a name, Network Automation MCP. And this is what the client will see when they connect. Then we'll define our path. Ansible dir points to actual Ansible project folder. Ansible bin points to the bin folder inside your Ansible virtual environment. Then of course the netbox URL and the token. Make sure you update the token with your actual token. Now the tools. This decorator at mcp.tool register our function as mcp tool that AI can discover and call. The docstring is super important. List devices with IPs from Netbox. This is what AI reads to decide when to use this tool. So be descriptive. Inside, we are making the direct API call to Netbox, parsing the JSON response and formatting nicely with the device name and IPs. And if you watch my previous video, this may be familiar. We have three Ansible tools, List Playbook, run playbook, and get inventory. Now this part is new and very critical for remote access. So when you connect from remote machine, the HTTP request includes host header with your server IP. But FastMCP SSE endpoints validate this header and respect a local host. So without this middleware, you will get invalid host header error when connecting remotely. So this middleware intercepts every incoming request and rewrite the host header to the local host before FastMCP see it. Finally, the main block. So first of all, we print some startup info for debugging, then the two key lines. First, we wrap our SSE app with our host fix middleware. Then we start the Unicorn on 0.0.0 on port 8080. So those 0 address is critical. It means that it listens all the network interface, not just the local host. That's what enables remote access. So let's save this code and start the server. And look at the output. Our configuration is printed. Netbox URL, Ansible directory, listening port details, and finally Unicorn started successfully on port 8080. From another window, let's check if the port is actually listening, and there it is. Python is listening on 8080 for all the interfaces. Now we can also do another test to the SSE endpoints locally with the curl and see how it hangs. That's actually correct. SSE keep the connection open waiting for events. That's how the protocol works. One more thing, make sure that 8080 is allowed through your firewall if you have one enabled. That's it. Our server side is completely ready. So we have the MCP server running, exposing the netbox and Ansible tool over SSE. Now let's move to the client side. So let's jump into the Windows laptop. This could be any machine with network access to your home lab. First, let's check if the Node.js is installed. If you don't have it, download it from nodejs.org. It's free, just run the installer. Now let's install the Gemini CLI using npm. This install it globally so that we can use it from anywhere. Takes about a minute. Let me verify the version. Now we need the Google API key. This is completely free. Go to aistudio.google.com/API key in your browser. Sign in with your Google account. Click Create API for the new project. It automatically creates Google Cloud project for you. Copy this key, no credit cards required. Just Google account, that's it. We need to save our API key permanently so it loads every time we open the PowerShell. So I'll create a PowerShell profile here. This create a file in your documents folder. We'll open it in Notepad and add the line, set our API key as environment variable. Save it, close the notepad, restart the PowerShell, and open a new window. So let me verify if the key is loaded. There it is, the API key loads automatically now. Now let's test the connectivity to our MCP server. I'll use curl to hit the SSE endpoint and look at the output. Event endpoint means we connected. Those ping lines every 15 seconds keep the connection alive. So we can reach the server from Windows. Now let's move to the next tab. Now let's register this server to Gemini CLI. I'll use mcp add command with SSE transport and our server URL. Now let's verify with the mcp list command. Look like there is a bug in the Gemini CLI where it sometimes doesn't save the URL properly. Don't worry, we can do this manually now. So let's open the file called setting.json in the notepad and add our server configuration manually. So let's save this configuration and we can check again. There we go, it's connected. And we can also look at the server terminal and we can see there is an incoming connection coming from Windows machine. Now comes to the fun part. Let's launch the Gemini CLI. First time launch, it asks for authentication. It detects our API key. Just select and use Gemini API key and enter. And look at the bottom. One MCP server detected. Our network automation server is connected and ready. Okay, now let's ask some questions and we'll prompt Gemini for the tool calling. First, find all devices populated in Netbox. So Gemini first asks the permission to run the tool. This is a security feature. And will allow all the server tools now. Now my request go from Windows laptop to the Gemini CLI to the MCP server in my home lab and then Netbox. I hope you understand the flow here. And also look at the server side. We can see a post request accepted, tool executed successfully. And we can see the result coming from the Netbox. Now let's try something more natural. I'll say backup all routers, no specific playbook name. And watch this. AI understand what I want, figure out which playbook to use and run it. And we can notice that all those devices have been backed up. We just typed backup all routers in plain English. Now one more thing, let's configure NTP on R2. So AI understand the NTP means configure NTP playbook. R2 means vios.r2. It even uses a limit flag to target to just to that devices. So in a nutshell, from my Windows laptop, I just configured a router in my home lab using natural language. So that's the power of remote MCP. So before we wrap up, let's talk about the rate limit. So go to aistudio.google.com, click on the project and the rate limit tab. So the free tier gives you around 20 requests per model. See, I already hit the limit on the flash. But here is a trick. The limit is per model, not per account. So first thing, go to Gemini CLI, type /model and switch to the flashlight. Then it gives you a fresh limit of another 20 requests, which is about 250 tokens. Then you can also try creating a new project. New project means completely fresh limit across all models. Both these tricks within the Google terms. With this, you can keep running without paying anything on your lab use cases. So that's about the rate limit. So we have built a unified MCP server on the Ansible node, exposing Netbox and Ansible tool over SSC, accessible from anywhere with the Gemini CLI, which is completely free. So if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. In the next video, we'll start building AWX, an open source version of Ansible Tower with all the enterprise grade features. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you for watching and take care.